Hey, how y'all doing? Episode 2, Talk Smack with Mac. I'm pretty excited. I just want to say the first episode was a big success for me. I got a lot of your guys' feedback telling me we did a great job and to keep it up, and I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Today, I'm joined with my little brother, Travis. We're going to talk about some basketball. I'm super excited. I'm a huge basketball fan, and so is he. Let's get to it. The first thing I want to talk about is the return of the NBA. Everything has been shut down with the coronavirus, and we're finally going to get back to some basketball. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's been like the worst. How long has it been now? Like 2 months?
3 months.
It's been
way too long.
Time doesn't even make sense no more. It's been too long.
Yeah. So July 31st, we're picking it back up, and 30th, July 30th. Cool. Hey, extra day, baby. It's going to be down to Disney World, Orlando. That's pretty cool. I'm excited to watch some games with no fans and hear the interactions between the players.
And the last time the Lakers were in Orlando, they won the championship.
Coincidence? I think not. Who do you want to see? What first round matchups would you like to see with the Lakers being in the one seed? What do you want to see get that 8th spot?
The Pelicans, 100%. Pelicans, and then second maybe Trailblazers because I like Dame. But I can see the Trailblazers giving us some trouble, so I'd rather watch the Pelicans.
I agree. But I mean, Zion TV, I'm excited. I feel like they're having the little play-in tournament because of Zion. That's what the rumors going around. But that Zoe to Zion connection is ridiculous.
You still got BI running the ISO over there. That's going to be the funnest team to watch for a lot of years to come if they keep it together, which I don't see it not.
Not to mention Drew. Drew in the backcourt was Zoe just locking shit down.
That's probably the best defensive backcourt in the league. I can't think of
both them boys bring it every game. But back to you mentioned before, BI. Tell me about BI. How you like BI?
He's my favorite player in the league, probably top 3 at least.
Yeah.
Just simply because, I mean, being around for the Lakers in those rebuilding years, that was like the light, that was the hope at the end of the tunnel. And we seen him turn his corner on the Lakers, but then see him starting to get to that potential this year and being basically exactly what he scouted to be, an elite level at all three, an elite scorer at all 3 levels. It's like, I mean, what more can you ask for from him? And on top of that, all the potential to be a great defender. He has the length, the size, and I mean, you can learn the defense. So
I feel like defense with him will come in time, and by time, I'm meaning time for him to put on some damn weight.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like when he's not a little stick figure out there, he's going to be able to move some people around and use his length better in order to shut people down on the defensive end.
100%. But I think wherever he ends up and wherever he goes, he's going to be a star and definitely top 10 player in the league in the next coming years.
Top 10 players. So speaking of top 10 players and people that compare BI to is Jaysom Tatum. A lot of people say he's emerging into a top 10 player this season, maybe even showing a little bit last year. How do you feel about him?
I like Jayson Tatum. I wouldn't say top 10 yet. I think that's just like Celtics fan base pushing their guy, which is, of course, what you want to do. But, I mean, there's a lot of good players in the league. I can name 10 players better than Jayson Tatum, but that's all opinionated. But he's still an elite scorer, definitely, and he's going to be
elite scorer. He's averaging 24 points a game this season.
24.
But his shooting splits are always nice. He's always shooting around 40% from 3. I think his first year in the league, he shot like a crazy 43% from 3. But, you know, as those attempts go up a little bit, his percentage dropped a little bit, but 39% is still elite shooting 7, 8, 9 3-pointers a game.
Yeah,
so
I mean, he's going to be one of those guys too. That's new, that's trailblazers of the league. Those are guys that are going to be around for a while, that are going to be the new face in the next coming years as the older people are transitioning out.
Yeah. Who do you like more out of, you said BI is your favorite player, so there's going to be a little bit of biased opinion when it comes to it, but who do you think is better right now out of BI and Jayson Tatum?
I would again, it is a little biased. I'd probably say Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum's really, really polished with his moves. So is Bi, but I think part of what draws Bi back is exactly what you said. He's not big enough.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to get down there and score, and he's so scrawny, he gets moved around by certain centers.
He does.
And on a Rudy Gobert, nobody could do much on Rudy Gobert. But with that being said, when he gets bigger and as he develops more skills, because he already has a lot of moves, I think he's going to develop into a better player. But if we're going right now, I think Jason Tatum is more. I think he's better.
He's a better defender too. But yeah, his defensive rating has gotten worse every year he's been in the league. That's a bit concerning for me because you can still watch film, and with his length and athleticism, he should be able to smother most smaller guards or smaller wings in the NBA.
But I would say with numbers like that and the advanced analytic stats, it's like, for all we know, since his rookie season, and now he might be guarding their better player now, a better player as compared to his rookie season. They might have given him more of a leeway. Like, we're not going to put you on their top guy, to where now he's going to get that because that's what his role on the team kind of takes on.
He's the elite. He's supposed to be that elite two-way, like Drew. They got a nice little squad over there, man. I like the Pelicans. I am a huge Pelicans fan. Of course, a little bit of bias because I am a Lakers fan. So bringing our young guys over there, it brought a little piece of my heart down to New Orleans. But when you paired them with Zion and Drew Holiday, not to mention my boy J.J. Redick, been a big fan of his since college. Favorite college player ever. Shout out to J.J. Redick. But they got a nice little squad.
Oh, yeah.
They do.
They all fit together well, and it's not a team that's going to be impossible to keep together. They're going to lose some guys, but Zion will be there. Zoe already had his option picked up. Josh Hart already had his option picked up. So really, if they can just keep Bi, that team will be solid for a while because they can fill in those other pieces. Not to say fairly easy, but they need journeymen right there because they already have their stars and they're franchise guys. So
speaking of, you mentioned Zoe. How do you feel about Zoe?
Man,
a lot of people hate on him because he doesn't score enough. He doesn't hold the ball long enough. He doesn't have enough moves.
I mean, let's be honest. Those are people that
don't know basketball.
Fans. They're casual fans.
Yeah.
They look at a box score. Box scores aren't always going to tell you the full story.
Right? Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, Lonzo's the best player, blah, blah, blah. But we're talking potential and the sky's the limit. I mean, that's him. He has basically the potential to be a Chris Paul-esque, maybe possibly better, because I think he's a little bit more athletic than him as far as the dunks and shit, the dunks and stuff that he be doing and all that.
Oh, so man, you can cut. It's all good.
You know what I'm saying? But so I think that he has all the potential in the world. And this season, I really started seeing that the game slowed down for him, like people said.
We talked about it. We've seen it. We've seen it because earlier in the league, he put up a couple games where he was shooting horrible, and we were like, damn, he's supposed to be a good shooter coming out of college. What the hell is going on? When's it going to start to click? And we seen it. It went from like one game, and then right after that game, I think it was around Christmas time, and he just flipped the switch, and he started going the same way Brandon Ingram did last season, right before he got the blood clot.
And it was on top of that, it was Zion came back. I think that whole team.
Oh, that chemistry, that dynamic was different.
Zion stretched the floor, or Zoe stretched the floor for Zion. You still have Bi, who's a threat again at all levels. So it kind of just made it a perfect storm. And on top of that, I think people with the stigma around Lonzo weren't giving the credit where he's due because he's shot great from three all year. He shoots like 6 or 7 threes a game.
He's shooting like 38%.
You can't ask for
Jayson Tatum gets applauded for being an amazing three-point shooter. He's shooting 39. Lonzo's shooting like 38.3. You got to give credit where credit is due.
And then, because he has probably, I would say, some of the best court vision in the league.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've watched him come down from a rebound, full court, pass it. Full court like alley-oop.
He does the same thing every time. The offensive player shoots the ball. He tracks the ball in the air. He peeps down court. he already knows who he's throwing it to before he even grabs the rebound, and then he just effortlessly just
right there. So
all the way down.
I mean, that's all the potential in the world right there.
Yeah.
As long as he stays healthy, get him an off season.
He needs an off season. He needs an off season. People need to get off his dick because you got to think he was injured his first year and second year in the league. Yeah. He was hurt for like 6 months, 7 months with the ankle injury. He has never had an off season. Off seasons are important for young players to develop certain moves. If you don't have an inside game, you need an off season to work on something. He has not had that off season to master a move that can get him when this 3-point shot is not falling and people are playing, the defenders are playing the pass. He needs that move that he can go to get a bucket. Steve Nash, man. Steve Nash said, once you can make that layup, once you have a move where you can make a layup, it's all bad for the defense after that because you are one of the best passers in the league. You're going to find wherever the defense makes a mistake at. But he needs that move. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see when the season resumes how different he's going to be. You know, I see him lifting his weights on the gram and stuff like that. But I want to see what move he maybe hasn't mastered, but he did enough repetitions during this coronavirus break to be able to do something
consistent.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to change everything for him for sure.
Well, a lot of people, I remember at least when he was on the Lakers and he was getting all the scrutiny from, you know, his dad, LeVar, causing all types of drama. But a lot of people wanted to compare Lonzo to De'Aaron Fox. That's who Magic Johnson wanted to draft over Lonzo. And De'Aaron Fox ended up going to the Kings. And he's a dynamic player, man. Oh, yeah. Crazy speed. You know, he can pass the ball well, and he still rebounds pretty well for a smaller guard.
See, so I would say, obviously coming in, Lonzo had more hype around him. He was kind of like gonna bring the viewers, I would say. So that's why like people would say the Lakers drafted him, and he obviously didn't come out and become an instant impact player. Mm-hmm. Where De'Aaron Fox, I would say, did. I mean, he came out, had a good rookie season, and been consistent. But again, it's what do you want to draft for? You draft for potential. You can draft for what you would get right then and there. Not to say I think De'Aaron Fox will get worse as time comes, but 5 years from now, Lonzo, I think, is going to be significantly better. With that being said, I don't dislike his game, but I think I think when games are built off of athleticism, there's holes in it. Mm-hmm. And over time, I mean, one injury can really screw that up for you.
Yeah.
So that's my only thing with him. So I was never upset with the Lonzo draft. And in the long term, I mean, I got us Anthony Davis. And I still think in the long term, he's going to be the better out of the two.
Yeah. Okay. When the season resumes, you know, we don't really know who's going to get in that eighth seed. But who do you think is going to win it? You know, try to hold your bias. You know, the Clippers a lot of people are going with the Clippers, but I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on the Bucks and forgetting that before the shutdown and before the season got delayed, the Bucks were rolling with or without Giannis too.
Yeah, the Bucks are built, I would say, pretty perfectly. You have Eric Bledsoe, who attacks the rim and passes very well. Chris Middleton, who shoots outstandingly. And then Giannis, who is a force, obviously. He does what he wants. And he's not good at shooting the three necessarily, but the fact that he will make a few is almost like, come on now, because he's going to dunk on you from the free throw line. So
a mini Shaq with the three.
So
it's scary.
Yeah, I mean, as far as winning it all, I would say coming out of the West, even not trying to be biased, I'm going to give it to the Lakers because we go 7 games, that big man rotation that they have, I don't see any team in the West really being able to stop that.
I feel like that could wear you down in a potential 7-game series.
Yeah, I mean, if you got Dwight, then JaVale, then AD constantly rotating on your big man, especially against like a Jokic who, okay, that's the Nuggets' best player, and I'm not going to take anything away from him. but he constantly has a body like that on him in his face all night with that in your face defense the Lakers have played all year in the playoffs where they'll get away with more or it's a little bit more let them play their game. I mean, I just can't really see anybody stopping that. And if LeBron just plays how he's been playing in the regular season, we're fine. And if he turns up to playoff LeBron, I mean, I just can't. Even with the Clippers, like I just can't see him taking this because it's like, I mean, we've watched Paul George underperform in the playoffs enough times to where I'm not like scared of his performance. You got Kawhi, who is really, really good, but again, we have that defensive rotation and those people. We got AD who can guard almost every position, and you have Danny Green who's great at defending, and then you have LeBron who, when he wants to, can probably be.
He was turning it up. Bron flipped that switch, and he was locking everybody up on defense and was still averaging 25, 11, and 8.
So it's like I just don't see a team in the West really like taking us out.
I feel like the big X factor for if it was a potential Clippers-Lakers Western Conference Finals is Zubac and Montrezl Harrell.
Oh, yeah.
Their big man rotation versus the Lakers, Titan-like big man rotation. That's a lot of big, talented, athletic dudes coming around just beating you down and wearing you down. And Dwight's not taking any shit this year.
I'm not going to take anything away from Zubac, but I think we're going playoff series, possible Western Conference Finals. Zubac, he's gonna get bullied around. He's a little kid compared to those guys out there. Montrezl Harrell,
he's a dog.
He is.
Montrezl Harrell is a dog.
So I'd be definitely more worried about him.
Yeah.
But then it's like, all right, when you get past that, you got Lou Will. He's gonna go to the left every time.
And he can't be stopped.
He can, but he can't. I watched.
You gonna stick Avery Bradley on him?
Oh yeah.
Man.
And then I watched LeBron literally pick Lou Will apart. Switch. Either switch onto him every offensive possession or seen the man that switched on him and got them the ball and scored every time down the stretch and we beat him. I believe that was right before the season stopped because we beat the Clippers and the Bucks. So with that being said, you got the East. The Bucks are coming out the East. I don't see anybody stopping them.
You don't think the Celtics, the Sixers, if the Sixers are healthy, Ben Simmons back from the back injury, I think the Sixers are a playoff team. I know they have been having their struggles throughout the season, trying to find a way to incorporate Al Horford into the team, and then Ben Simmons with Joel Embiid and all that other bullshit. That is one hell of a basketball team.
100%.
One hell of a team.
We need to make the pieces work, and I think they're still figuring that out. So we're talking about this season. The pieces are they fit too perfect right now for the Bucks. And on top of that, I mean, Giannis has played 20 minutes a game and has averaged 34 and 16.
But I want to see what happens when they put Ben Simmons on Chris Middleton. Ben Simmons shuts him down, and then Giannis's three isn't falling. Then what? Now he's taking it to the rim against Joel Embiid and the Giannis killer Al Horford.
I honestly would.
That's what they picked up Al Horford over Jimmy Butler for this series.
If Al Horford can do
I really want that series to happen.
If he can do what he did in the Boston series last season and stop Giannis and contain Giannis, then yeah, because I mean, that team, I'm not going to say is nothing without Giannis, but that's the focal point. So if he stopped, yeah. But at the same time, to sit there and think that happened to Giannis and he didn't do anything to prepare for that to happen.
But you cannot prepare for Joel Embiid and Al Horford on the court at the same time.
Joel Embiid, though, I like him. He's a defensive player, but that gritty, he'll flop. He hurts himself. I mean, come on now. I think Giannis will dunk on Joel Embiid and fly for it.
Oh, man.
I think he'll just put it on.
Pray to the basketball gods that we get a Lakers, Clippers, and a Bucks Sixers series. Please, please, I want that. All right, I want to end with Kyrie Irving and the comments that he made today about the return of the season and how he's not with it. With everything going on in the world these days, and with the coronavirus, it is a sketchy situation. With I don't really know the full understanding of the rules in place for it to work out when they do arrive in Orlando. If they're sanctioned off away from everybody for the whole time, I don't know. So with the potential to get sick, that threat is there. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I think the NBA has been very open about the fact that if you don't want to come back, you don't have to. So it is what it is.
Do you think Kyrie is just talking some shit because he doesn't want to play, which I personally feel like he's been uninterested in this season?
Oh yeah,
his homie KD is coming back from the Achilles injury right around the corner. He already said he's not going to play this season. So Kyrie's like, why? Why? He knows he's not going to be able to beat the Bucks or the Sixers without KD. But if KD was playing, it'd be a different story. So I just feel like now I'm not taking away from Kyrie Irving promoting social justice. I highly respect that. And that's awesome of him and anybody else that does stand for him. Hell yeah, do your thing. With all the shit going on, do what the fuck you need to do to make your point across. But Kyrie also does bitch a lot and always seem to have something to say.
Well, yeah, he always has the opposite standpoint of he tries to always be on the other end of the majority, is what it seems like.
Which there's no problem with that either.
There's nothing wrong with it, but it's like I was just reading this thing earlier. It was like LeBron saying that he has no problem. He doesn't think that him going back to the NBA is going to do, or the NBA resuming isn't going to stop him from doing what he's doing as far as social justice and as far as campaigning for that. It's not going to do anything for that. If anything, it's going to push it further because the NBA is global and because it's such a big thing.
I feel like it would be very powerful to see LeBron or other NBA players, with certain clothing, stating certain things.
Well, and then
because that viewership, it reaches a wider audience than maybe just his Instagram, which his Instagram reaches millions of people, but more people watch ESPN and TNT and the NBA than people that go to LeBron James's Instagram.
And it's, again, there's still protesting and there's things that could be done and messages that can be put out with the season resuming. I understand Kyrie looking at it like you can, destruction and rebuild, do the most whatever thing you can think of, because that's going to be what gets people's attention. If they were like, hey, we're not coming back, people are going to definitely turn their heads.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like just as much as that can show unification in the community by choosing to not coming back and still pushing that same message and honestly doing what you love and kind of giving everybody somewhat hope and peace in this time between everything going on.
Yeah, getting back to normal, man.
Like that could be just as healing and as helpful as not going back. So I mean, either way, I get it, but at the same time, I think it's something where it's like you shouldn't have to try to force anybody to think one way or the other. I think however you feel is how you should feel, and just let it be. And I think Kyrie's trying to push that opinion on players, maybe trying to make it happen, and I don't think that's
the beauty of it, though, is that his opinion isn't wrong. Nobody's opinion is wrong unless you're just an asshole and you're wrong. But Kyrie is trying to take a stand and make a point, and I highly, highly respect that. I hope he does play, but I also do hope that what he stands for is the focal point and is respected, because these are delicate times and things are not how they should be.
100%.
Yeah. Well, we're going to end it right there, man. Thanks for hopping on the podcast, talking some smack with me. This is the second episode and we're just getting started. We're still getting better. As you can see, I got a blank wall behind me. In time, these walls will be filled with sports memorabilia and all types of cool stuff. Maybe some military pictures and deep sea helmets and all types of cool things. But thank you guys for watching another episode. Your support is everything to me. Thank you so much. Peace.